Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. It's Carrie. If you're new here, thanks for clicking in. If you're returning, thanks for coming back. Please excuse my hideous Mod Podge glue mat. As you can see, it's got much love. But today we're going to make some charms. So I've made these using old cereal boxes or cracker boxes, or those cardboard boxes that those food products come in. I kept a bunch of them and had some scraps from like the lids. So I made some charms out of them using those and scraps of scrapbooking paper. And I've made them kind of in different ways. This one here has some gold foiling on it, which I got from Dollar Tree of all places. And I actually got the gold, the silver, and the copper, but I used the gold. And this is just, I glue the I'll show you what I do. I glue the cardboard together and then I put, the cardstock on each side. This cutout, these are all from, they're all die cuts that I used to cut these out. Already had a hole pre-punched. And I just glued them together, put Mod Podge on it, did some of the gold foiling, and then covered it again in Mod Podge. So it didn't come out too bad for it being Mod Podge. These, which are the first ones I made, same principle, cardboard glued together with cardstock. These I used glossy accents. Yeah, glossy accents. And I painted the glossy accent on. And I mean, it works okay. It hardens it. I think it might make it maybe slightly waterproof. And like I said, it came out okay. And then I got even more creative, where, again, same principle, cardboard, cardstock, scrapbooking paper. That is off right there. I'll fix that later. I put glitter, this thing, on top of it first, and then after that was dry, I used the glossy accents. But instead of painting it on, I actually did it so it's a little bit, I don't know if you can tell, but it's a little bit raised. So it kind of has sort of this hard, shiny, smooth surface that's not quite, I don't know if you can see the difference, not quite painted. Plus the glitter, once it hits light, is really pretty. And I did the same thing with this little heart. I don't know if you can see, there's like these little weird blue dots. I attempted to put the gold foiling on there, which I did do, and then once everything was dry and the glitter was dry, I used this glitter on there. Because you don't want anything too dark that's going to cover up your design. And but after I put the glossy accent on and it dried, the gold turned blue, and so it's got these weird blue dots. But I mean, it's still okay. It's not like bad, and I'll still use it on something. But these are just fun charms, things to do with, the cardboard cereal boxes that you've kept in your stash, and you have all the lids and everything, the tops and the sides, and you're like, what am I going to make with this? Well, this is what you're going to make with that. So, and I'll show you, as you can see, this is what they look like when you cut them out. And you can see, I don't know if you can tell here, but this was a box of, I think it was Walmart brand Life cereal. And you can see this is what this looks like uncovered. And like I said, it came pre-holed. So, and they're just fun. I have a whole slew of them in here, and then I also cut the cardstock up too. So I have some other ones where I can make charms in the future, and then we're going to make about 3 of them today, maybe more, depending on how I feel. So let's get started. And as for the holes in these, I just use this on the smaller side, which is the smaller hole side. I don't really know if that is in terms of size, sorry. And just punch them in. And they actually punch pretty well, even with the glossy accents thickly on there with that nice cover. I've seen several different YouTube videos of people doing this, and I thought these were so fun and so great to do. These are hooked on with a jump ring and a gold safety pin, but you can use those with a bulb safety pins, which is one of the things I'm looking into getting in the future for these. But in the meantime, I had gold safety pins, so we used that. Okay, so let's get started, and I will show you what we're going to do today. I'm going to move those over here. We're going to, so I've got another tag that I want to do. We're going to do this one, and this is fun because you can find pieces of scrap that have fun images on it that are just like up in a corner that maybe would go unnoticed if you were covering a notebook, which you've seen me do on here. And we're going to do a different heart shape on here. So let's do this. Now for the tag, I just do 2. In fact, a couple of these I'm just going to do. This one I think has 3. I'm going to glue together. This one has 2. I might glue a third one. That one's going to end up being with the glossy accents. I remember working with them. And at 2, it's still pretty decently thick. And with the addition of the glossy accents where you've put enough on there that kind of has this almost like sort of like a resin feel to it. And I actually saw someone, and I'm sorry, I really ought to be linking these people's channels so you guys can see what they do because they're all really great. And I'll try to do that if I can go find them before I upload this. Where she used wiring to make like a frame, and she used embossing powder in it to kind of, and when she heated it up, it got that glossy look. So, all right, so that is not my glue. So we will use glue. Glossy accents comes later. Glue first. Okay. So we will chit chat about some things while I'm doing this. Sorry. All right. So, and you can put the glue on either side. I have not had a problem with them adhering on the glossier side of the cardboard. So, but you do it how you think, works best with whatever glue or medium you're using to attach these. So what I'll do is I'll glue all these together so I can show you how I do it, and then I will pause, let that dry for a bit, and then come back. You won't know I was gone, but just so you know the plan. That is the plan. So in one of my older videos I mentioned about wanting to have a last hurrah before next year, because next year I will have to be going back to work. Sorry, let me make sure this isn't a shot. And it's looking like I don't know if I'm going to be able to afford that last hurrah. I'm starting to have an issue with some teeth, which means that money that I would have put aside for the last hurrah needs to go into taking care of those teeth. Unfortunately, I'm one of those people that got ever so blessed with terrible teeth genetics. It doesn't matter how often I brush or floss or use a water pick or rinse, I could probably starve myself and never eat a single thing and my teeth would still rot and fall out of my head. So, yeah. It's okay, health always comes first, and, who knows? Maybe somehow I'll still manage to get to do the hurrah. But for now, it's looking like it's going to be teeth first. It's not my first go round with that. I've had issues with my teeth since I've had teeth in my head. Like the older you get, that's when things start happening. But as someone with a really bad sweet tooth, I think I probably started with the teeth going downhill a lot earlier than most. And having lost my birth mother when I was 17 meant the loss of my insurance. So I did not have dental benefits from the age of 17 until I was 20. And my best friend's family, who I lived with at the time, did their best to try and provide that care, but dental work is expensive, you guys. It's expensive. It's just really, really expensive. It's necessary, but expensive. Now this heart, it's pretty. I don't know if you can tell, but it's kind of raised up, so it looks like a smaller heart on top of a bigger heart. So hopefully that won't be an issue when it comes to gluing, and I don't think that it will be. The other heart shape I realized that it doesn't line up unless they both face a certain way. So that was interesting, but we quickly figured out how to make that work, so it wasn't too big of a deal. There we go. So there's that. Also, I'm gonna probably be putting up a video of me working on my planner for next year. So that'll be something to look forward to. I'm going to be doing it in an altered composition notebook, which I think I know you've seen me make. I know I keep saying stuff like that, like I don't remember what I've already filmed. But yes, you've seen me do that, so you'll see me make a planner, because I cannot afford, I have a happy planner right now, and I cannot afford another one of those, because those are like 30, 40 bucks now. And they're nice, but again, not affordable. Okay, so I am going to, I may do one more, so you may see a fourth one when we come back. But I'm going to pause for a second and let these dry, and then I'll be right back with you, okay? Okay. So I went to they're 100% dry, but they're dry enough that I can work with them. And as you can see, I added this little round one here with the rose on it. Heart. So now we need to decide what we're going to do. I think, I'm not entirely sure. I want to put, I'll probably put some of this on here. And this is just glitter glue. I often get this from a bin at Michael's. And it's like $1.50, $2, I think. I'm gonna need to get some more stickles though, because kind of smear it around a little bit. That way when it hits the light, there's a bit of sparkle. So let's set that aside to dry. And let's see. I like the addition of the glitter quite a bit. And this one, and then I was going to try to mess around with some blue glitter. But I don't know if I want to do that. I may not do glitter on this one. And just do it just the glossy accent. I'm sorry if my forehead is in the shot. I keep thinking it is, I'm not entirely sure. You'd think by now I would have figured out how to keep my forehead out of the shot and my project in the shot. Okay, so I did overboard a little bit on that pink glitter, so we're gonna kick them off. Never underestimate the use of your finger, okay? As long as you're using it, you know, don't use it for like cutting. Don't cut your finger, and don't glue it like with a hot glue gun. I mean, we've all done that, but don't. It's not fun. So I'm trying to decide if I want to do another one with Mod Podge like this one. I kind of feel like the tag would be better with Mod Podge. I don't know that gold would really do on here. So we may just slap some Mod Podge on that as is. I wish I thought this through before I was on camera. Now, on these here with the front, I loaded on quite a bit of the glossy accent, so it's kind of got that sort of like a clear cover with the glitter. On the back, I just painted it on kind of thickly, so it's flatter than over here. Which is probably what I'll do with this. This is glossy Mod Podge. I've had this jar in my stash for several years now, and this stuff just keeps on going. I'm telling you. Down there to dry. That side. I really can't decide if I want to add anything else to this or not. I'm just gonna put. We can put some. You know what we might do? What I might do? Who's we? What I might do is just do some little. Dots on here like that. Let that dry. So all of these, I just got glitter all up my arm. That's that's typical. Okay. So what we're gonna do is I'm gonna leave these to dry, and I will be back when they're dry, and we can do the coat on the back for this one, and then I will show you how I do the glossy accents on the front of these. And again, on the back, like I said, I just painted on. I don't really think you need to see me paint on glossy accents, but you know, you just take a paintbrush and you paint it. I did the same thing with these. These are just painted on. It kind of gives it, you can kind of see the brush strokes on here, and kind of gives it some interesting texture, but it does harden it and seal it. It just doesn't have that lovely glossy. So those are gonna have glossy. These are all gonna have glossy because I like the glossy better. And as I find more mediums to play with, you know, that can change that up. So, be back soon, okay? Okay. So, the Mod Podge is dry on this side, but I realized I probably should show you how I did the gold flakes on here. But we're going to do it on the back, because I don't really want to cover the design on the front. So, first thing we're going to do is we're going to put coat of Mod Podge on the back. And we'll just sit that there for a second, let it get tacky, but don't let it dry. Now, I've never used, I guess these are also known as gilding flakes. And these things are very light, and the slightest amount of breath or air on it can send them flying. So, what we'll do, just take a few flakes out. I mean, you really don't need that many flakes. And I'm just kind of sprinkle them on top here. I never seem to get these to go where I want them to go. And you just rub with your finger. Or I guess the term would be burnish. And hopefully whatever hasn't already dried from your Mod Podge will still stick. That's not bad. I'll take my little awl here. Oh, ended up getting some of the gold on the front too. It's okay. That is okay. I'm not even a trip about that. And then what I did is I took another coat of Mod Podge. And just went over the top of it. And this one I did with a little bit thicker coat to seal my gold flakes in place. And the Mod Podge leaves it gold. Like, it doesn't change it, but something about whatever's in the glossy accents that once it dries, the gold is no longer gold. It's like weird blue. I'm not sure if that's because these are Dollar Tree gilded flakes and maybe they're not, you know, like a good quality, or if it's just some kind of chemical that is in the glossy accents, but that is the thing that happened. So not quite ready on those yet, but I wanted to come back and show you that. So once again, I'm going to pause this and be back in a few more minutes. Okay, so the glitter glue on here is finally dry. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to coat this in the glossy accents. Sorry, there's something messing with my allergies. I'm just going to go around it, kind of just push it around. I love it that this does go a long way. I don't know if you can see what I'm doing. Just push it around just so it gets to the edge. And I'm actually not squeezing any more on. I'm just using the tip to spread it around. It would be a lot more helpful if this didn't move around so much when doing this, but it does. Well, it's just a very light cardboard. And I'll just put that one aside to dry. And then we'll just repeat that process on here. And I'm moving my camera so when I lean forward, you're not getting that shot of my forehead. And just make sure you get to the edge. And I know it doesn't look very clear now, but this does in fact dry clear. I'll put that one aside. I'm hoping that bottom one is dry enough. We had a little mishap with the glitter on the big one here. I'm gonna slide this over. This dent in here is kind of an issue. Again, we just go over this. Try to get the air bubbles out if you can. And move this to dry. Once those are dry, you know, like I said, you'll end up looking more like this where you can actually see the image behind it. It's almost has a very vintagey look to it because it kind of maybe yellowed a little bit. I mean, I like it. You can see the difference between the front and the back. And this glitter was not a pink glitter. It was just a clear, I put it away already, but the clear iridescent glitter glue. When these are dry and it's like this, then I'll flip it over and paint the back. And then I just use this, and I just put a little bit on, and I take a paintbrush and I just paint it on so that it hardens and makes it sealed, but it's not, like again, it's not this really pretty clear kind of glassy cover to it like on the front here. So once again, I will pause this because this does take a while to dry, and come back later and show you when it is all finished. Okay? Just noticed. Okay, we are back. So these are nice and dry now. They turned out okay. This one, I had a little bit of an issue with it. I touched it before it was dry and I had to do some repair, but I kind of like how it turned out. It kind of has sort of a little rustic look to it. And then this is the one you saw me do with the Mod Podge. So now I'm going to show you how I do the holes and the safety pins. Because as you can see in here, if I were to try to put the safety pins on, the safety pins they're small, so there's no way you're going to get them to that hole. So I use a jump ring, and depending on the size of the charm, will depend on the size of the jump ring, and then I put the safety pin to the jump ring. That way when this is on, it'll actually lay flat, and you'll be able to see the charm well. And I'll show that in a minute as an example. So I use the smaller hole on here. And we just find a good spot. That one already has a hole. We just find a good spot to put a hole. This one came out okay. I might have been better off with the clear glitter, but it's alright. You have to squeeze it hard because there is like 2 to 3 layers worth of cardboard, but it cuts pretty well. Cuts pretty well. For the heart, and I could try to put that there. The other heart, I did it on the side, but this one it's a little bit different. Thinking I might try to do it in the middle, see how that goes. It's not bad. Might have wanted it to be more on the side, but it's done is done. Let me get my jewelry pliers here. And we will put that right there. And I decide what I want for the other jump rings. Fail at opening. Oh my god, really fail. Let me just put that on. Put the safety pin on it through the loop at the bottom, so that little loop at the bottom where it curls. And then we'll seal it. Go. And little charm done. Let's see. I feel like the rest of these are going to require the bigger jump ring. And they're even harder to get apart. I don't know if they're hard to get apart or for some reason I'm losing strength in my arms or something, but I have a heck of a time getting these ones open. And again, and I usually prefer the smaller safety pins, but I wasn't paying attention when I did that one, but that's okay. I'm not going to pull that apart now. Okay. Let me put a safety pin on here. Together. this one still has a little bit of paper stuck to it. And here's my awl. Clean that excess off of there. And I forgot a new safety pin. And there we go. Here are the rest of my charms. So like I said, it's just something fun to do with, you know, cardboard from old cereal boxes and scraps of scrapbooking paper that you have. And then I'm just using this junk journal. I think I've showed it to you guys before. This is one of my more original, my older ones I made before I had the channel. But just find a place to stick it on. Nice head ribbon. And there you go. And you have this fun little tag to decorate your junk journals with. And yeah, I think they turned out really well. I feel like this one I feel is my favorite. But that'll be it for this video. Thanks for watching. If you liked what you saw, give me a thumbs up. If you want to come back and see more, hit that subscribe button. And remember, I'm just me, crafting for mental health, helping others and myself, one DIY at a time. Thanks. See you next one. Bye.